are in the play-in game against the Nets, our arch rival, the Nets, and Kyrie Irving. Tuesday night, we're going to be facing the Nets at the Barclays Center. Win that, we're in, and facing Boston. Lose that, we get one more chance, and we are going to be facing the winner of the Hawks and the Hornets, and that whoever wins that game is going to go to see the Heat. It's good to be in the playoffs, and it's good to have a chance, even if it's the playing game. Hey, at least we're not the Lakers, and we're out of it completely. But we've slid a bit here towards the end of the season. Drew, we've been up and down and up and down. Maybe we're headed back up. So I ask, what are your expectations for the Cavs for these playoffs?
Yeah, it depends on if Jarrett Allen is going to be able to play in these playoffs or not. We know he's not playing tomorrow in the play-in game at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, right? So that is a really tough draw without him. The Cavs are 35-21 when Jarrett Allen plays. They're a very solid team, one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. When he's not in the game at all, this sort of factors out games he plays a couple minutes, games he got hurt, et cetera. They're 8-13 without him. They are a below average team. They're not a playoff team without Jarrett Allen. So they are 1-3 versus the Nets this year. Two, I think maybe even three of those games came with Jarrett Allen. So, I'm not expecting a whole heck of a lot here on Tuesday, especially now that like Kyrie Irving's able to play at home again, because that was fun when he couldn't for a while. So I'm not expecting a miracle in that game. What I am expecting is for the team to show up, to get some really solid playoff experience, and then take some of that, come home against either Atlanta or Charlotte. They certainly match up better against Charlotte, so we're rooting for that. But, if it's Atlanta, so be it. And that game's at home. And I'm hoping Jarrett Allen is back for that. And if that's the case, I really like the Cavs' chances to take that game, make the playoffs as the 8th seed. You're probably not going to win a championship as an 8th seed. It's never happened before. But, hey, we'll keep hope alive here. At the very least, this is a very young team. And these sorts of games give them that sort of playoff experience, that playoff atmosphere. I'd like for them to get a full series out of this versus a team like Miami that has, some players on there that have a lot of experience, a lot of NBA experience, a lot of playoff experience. So
I'm a little worried if the Hawks were to win on Wednesday for that matchup on Friday. They seem to always have trouble with Trae Young, but to be fair, a lot of teams have had trouble with Trae Young. He's number 6 in the league in scoring. So he's a guy that the defense of Darius Garland and et cetera, is going to have to shut down on the edge. He's a tremendous player, and I think they can still win the game. I think the Cavs are going to have to outscore whoever they play. Brooklyn, Atlanta, Charlotte, what combination of those teams? They all pretty much average around the same, 113 to 115 points per game, all around 44 rebounds per game, and anywhere from 24 assists per game with Atlanta and 28 for Charlotte. It just kind of goes back to the star, I guess is the star philosophy, star theory. Brooklyn has Kevin Durant. He's a star, number 4 in the league in scoring. We obviously mentioned Kyrie Irving. I already touched on Trae Young. And Charlotte has Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball, two solid players, 27th and 28th in scoring, both behind Darius Garland. So they do spread the ball around, but that was a team I think the Cavs can attack a little better. I think they can get into the playoffs, like the first round of it. They're gonna it's gonna be a full team effort regardless of who they beat to get into the playoffs. And my hope is that if they do get into the playoffs, to win at least one game. 2 games would be nice. Definitely don't want to see a sweep, but my hope is a 4-1 gentleman's sweep, worst case scenario. You got your experience and you are able to say, yeah, you made it in the playoffs and you won a game at least. I guess technically you would have won 2 at that point, including the play-in. So I don't have great expectations, but you mentioned Kevin Love. He's 13.6 points per game. He's the veteran leader. And I don't think he's going to be playing a team like the Bucks that had most of their starters rested, but perhaps he could catch fire. He has known to do that in stretches of his career. They have a couple guys, that they could maybe catch lightning in a bottle. Karis LeVert, he's up and down. Lauri Markkanen, maybe he hits a couple threes in a row. If Isaac Okoro has any offensive game, I think that's going to be a plus. So I'm not relying on him to have a big game, but maybe he makes a couple threes early or something and puts a lot of pressure on the other team. So there's a chance they can maybe win a couple games in the playoffs, but I would be very surprised if they win their first round series. It'd be a welcome addition, but unlikely.
Oh man, come on. If we look at if we switch back here to the bracket here, I like I'm afraid of Milwaukee. I'm afraid of the Sixers, even though Sixers have been struggling a bit here. I would like a matchup with Boston. It is going to be tough to win this game against Brooklyn. I wonder if Ben Simmons is going to play here when we face the Nets.
Dude's so soft, Ryan. He's never going to play again. That dude's one of the softest people you'll ever meet. He's not going to play.
So he's up in the air. He's questionable that he could play on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, he could decide he's over his issues. And yeah, he could show up or he could do what Ben Simmons does best and just disappear when the team needs you the most. So I would assume Ben Simmons is not going to be playing at any point, probably for this team, this entire playoffs, just like he did the entirety of the regular season.
We're going to have our hands full with Kyrie and Durant. So
yes.
Simmons would
Those
almost
are not soft.
We almost want to see Simmons and see if he could mess up the chemistry on that team.
He would be a welcome addition to the Brooklyn Nets for this one game play. Yes.
So a lot of good games this weekend. We'll be watching. Hopefully this extends. Keep watching some Cavs games, get into an actual series, and have some more NBA basketball leading into the draft. Warm it up for the draft, but we'll keep talking some Cavs here for the time being.